What's going on, guys? This is RJ Game News USA here, back today with another video, and been watching a lot of NFL football today, and obviously the big storyline coming out of today's events is going to be what happened to the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm going to break it down. I'm going to talk about it. So like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's jump right into it. So, I predicted before the year that the Chiefs would start 0-2. I said they would lose to the Chargers. I said they would lose to the Eagles. I was poo-pooed at. I was laughed at, ridiculed. I was indeed correct in my assessment. And I want to discuss what I've seen, why I thought that, and why I think they're struggling so much in some ways. And ultimately, where I think they're going to end up still. So, let's just jump right into it. So, first of all, my pick to win the AFC West was the Chargers. I think they built out a really good roster, and this is Harbaugh's second year. I just think the Chiefs' dominance in the AFC West and the AFC as a whole has a shelf life at some point. And full disclosure, I have been wrong in the past, thinking that the Chiefs' run was over. I don't know how many times I've cried Josh Allen and the Bills. I don't know how many times I thought, well, Burrow's got his number, or it's Lamar's time, only for it to not be so. And the Chiefs have been to the last 5 out of 6 Super Bowls and winning 3 of them. So to say I've had egg on my face before, I fully admit, yeah, that's been me. But am I a full-blown hater? Absolutely not. I feel like I've been a realist. And I have some realistic points for why they're going to struggle this year to some extent. And for me, I said from the jump, it's going to be the one-score games. Because the Chiefs had this ridiculous streak, whether it's lucky or rigged, of winning one-score games. And usually, you can almost look at it verbatim. It flips the following year. And what have we seen in this 0-2 start? 2 one-score losses. The calls aren't coming quite as easily. The calls are even going against them sometimes. The luck has worn out. It's not just luck, though. It's preparation. It's skill. You know, obviously. Situational football was always a big thing with the Patriots. And winning a lot of games as well. But when we talk about the Chargers game specifically, I'll bring it up very briefly. The Chiefs couldn't get any pass rush home. That seemed like a concern. Herbert played the game of his life. And the Chargers were able to win. Now in this Eagles game, we know Xavier Worthy's out. We know about the suspension, which I factored into my predictions, the suspension of Rashee Rice. And Travis Kelce, although he can make a play here and there, he's clearly washed. He dropped what could have been a touchdown. It turned into an interception. Obviously the biggest play of the game. It turned the momentum greatly. And that's completely on him. A lot of people made a big deal about the revamped offensive line. They struggled versus the Eagles. So I don't know how revamped it is. And regardless what some people have been telling me, yes, Mahomes is doing a great job running around on the ground, almost Justin Fields-like. But when it comes to his passing ability, you have to really call into question what we've seen on tape the last 2 weeks. We're not talking about small misses here. We're talking about wide the fuck open touchdowns that high schoolers hit. And this dude is sailing balls 10 yards over people's heads. Like, and I'm not saying that's every single down. I'm saying when he goes to throw, sometimes he has been super inaccurate, which is what we had seen in college from him to some degree, which is why I would have stayed away from him in the draft. Now, obviously, he turned out to land in the best landing spot possible and made the most of his career up to this point. And by no means am I saying Mahomes is washed. I just don't get why the timing is so bad between him and the receivers. I'm a little perplexed at that and his poor performance when it comes to hitting receivers in stride. You're the best quarterback in the league, but you're performing at levels that are way lower than Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. I don't understand here. And then the Eagles were able to win this game despite Jalen Hurts not really having a good passing game himself. Saquon Barkley had a better time on the ground than he did in the Super Bowl. And it was a much more low-scoring defensive affair. I thought the Chiefs made a mistake going for it 4th and 1 in their own territory when it was a 10-10 game. The defense played well. Use a reason to punt, flip the field. They didn't do it. And even on that 4th and 1 they got, instead of taking a field goal, they ended up throwing that pick. You got to remember that sometimes. When you get the 4th and 1, it's not just, oh, yay, we got it, so it's a success. It has to pay off in a touchdown or you ended up with a field goal or worse anyway. And they clearly did. So, and by the way, full disclosure, I don't think the Eagles are winning the NFC East either. I picked Washington to win the NFC East. So I think both the Eagles and Chiefs are wild card teams. And by no means am I a Philly fan. I fucking hate Philadelphia. I don't really care about the Chargers. So I don't have a dog in this fight. But is it funny to see the Chiefs lose? Yeah, absolutely. It's fucking hilarious. Right? If you're not a Chiefs fan, you're laughing at it. It's funny. It's fucking funny. But what do I think this all means going forward? Okay? Surely Mahomes is going to get more accurate as the year goes along. Surely Rashee Rice is going to come back. Xavier Worthy hopefully comes back. The offense gels as time goes on. They become a very dangerous playoff team. Maybe a wild card team. Maybe they do win the division. I don't know. But they've dug themselves a little bit of a hole. And I will say this. I do think they're beating the Giants. I think it's ridiculous to say that they are going to lose the Giants. But Game 4 is against the Ravens. I'm taking the Ravens in Game 4, which means the Chiefs would be 1-3. Game 5 is the Jags. I would take the Chiefs there. And Game 6 is the Lions. I would take the Lions. Which means I think through the Rashee Rice suspension, they'd start 2-4. Now, the middle part of the schedule, you got Commanders and Bills. If they lose both of those, that's 6 losses. And then towards the tail end of the schedule, you got more division opponents that they just can't lose to. Who knows? Could this team accrue 6, 7, 8 losses maybe? It's on the board. I still think they're making the playoffs. I still think they're winning a playoff game. I think they're going to lose the division, but I can't guarantee it. But I feel like with confidence, I could say they're not going to make the AFC Championship game this year. That much I know. And I could be wrong again with egg in my face, but only time will tell. Now, I will say this, as far as the Eagles go, they got some officiating breaks here. They had a tush-push where they started early. The refs didn't call it. That's a bunch of horse shit. I will say the Eagles got a bullshit roughing the passer call on them, against them on Mahomes that really made me just go, ugh. I hate when they do ticky-tack roughing the passers. Again, can't stand that shit. But anyway, guys, that's what I think is going on with the Chiefs. Now, as far as what's going on in the rest of the NFL, just briefly, the Lions are whooping ass. I'm feeling good about my Super Bowl pick again. That makes the Packers look even more dangerous. Obviously, I put out a short earlier where I said, look, we got to take the Packers seriously, and we do. Shout out to the Cardinals and the Colts going 2-0. I mean, I'm stunned the Colts are 2-0. The Cardinals, they had a really easy schedule to start their 2-0 run. Saints, Panthers, those are gimmies. But Colts to be 2-0, I'm impressed. My Patriots won today. Thank God they're 1-1. They beat the Dolphins. Dolphins are 0-2. Everybody's already wrote the Dolphins off as nothing. Ravens look dominant in their win. Can't wait for the Ravens-Lions Monday Night Football matchup next week. That's going to be fantastic. So, yeah. Just looking around the league, Brock Purdy was out with an injury. Joe Burrow got hurt today, but the Bengals beat the Jags anyway. So, I mean, that's something. The Bengals are 2-0. But how long is Burrow going to be out for? That's the question. That's the million-dollar question. Because they need him. But Jake Browning did a great job stepping in. Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers didn't look that great. A lot of my friends in my little group poll went with the Steelers. I should have went with my gut, my initial preseason prediction that they would lose to the Seahawks. I was enamored with what they did versus the Jets. I fucked up there by rolling with the Steelers today. I should have rolled with the Seahawks. The Seahawks, I think, are going to be a wild card team in my opinion, but we'll see. The season's still young. Rams are looking sharp as hell, 2-0. I feel like I'm already wrong on that take also. How about Cowboys-Giants? It was actually game of the day. Brandon Aubrey hit a 64-yard field goal, and then he kicked the field goal in overtime to win 40-37. Again, I went against my preseason priors because I actually had the Giants finishing third in the East and the Cowboys last. But I went with the Cowboys for this game. But luckily I was correct. I went pretty good today up until Sunday Night Football here. I have like a record of 10-3. And one of those losses, I picked Washington over the Packers, which was a pretty dumb idea in retrospect. And one was the Steelers, of course, and one was the Broncos. So I fucked up 3 times there, or I would have had a perfect record. But anyway, I hope that got you all caught up with what's going on today, NFL Sunday. Maybe you're catching this video later on. Either way, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you watching me. We're on the road to 200 subs. So again, if you're new, hit that sub button. Very much appreciated. I will see you all later. Have a good one.